top 10 risks for 2010, 2013. 2017 is the latest one so far, but the difference between 2013 and 2017 is that some of these have changed, but not all of them. The order has changed a little bit, but you can see that SQL injection is on the top A1 amongst the injection attacks, right? And you can see there are multiple types that have been given here: the SQL injection for extracting data, or SQL injection for bypass authentication, or insert your injection attacks, blind SQL injection. And then there is a tool called SQL Map, which is available freely on your Linux machines, Kali Linux or Parrot Linux, whichever you want to use for your practice targets, and so on and so forth. So if I just take you here for bypass authentication, and this is a regular login page that an application may have, right? You look at a username, you look at a password, you type that in, and you log in. So let's say I don't know a password here. I'm just going to type in the username test, password as PSSWORD. I try to log in, and it shows me that the account does not exist. So the authentication mechanism does work. I did try type in a username and password. It wasn't recognized, so the account does not exist. Now let's try to type in a SQL query. Here I'm going to just give it a single quote, which is an operator that is recognized by the SQL language, which when the database tries to execute, will cause the database to dump some data or to bypass authentication in this case. And I'm going to give it a condition, single quote, or 1 equals 1 space hyphen space, and I'm going to click on login. Now right now I'm not logged in at all, and we tried our username and password and we weren't able to log in. So now if I log in, you will see that it gave me a status update saying the user has been authenticated, and I'm logged in as admin got root. So that is what these SQL queries can achieve. I'm going to log out right now, and we're going to look at the basics of SQL injection. So looking at that small demo, now let's look at what types of SQL injections are available. So the first is in-band SQL injection. There are two subtypes within in-band: error-based injection attack and a union-based injection attack. The second type is blind SQL injection attack, where there's a Boolean-based and a time-based attack. And the third one is out-of-bounds SQL injection attack. Now, what is in-band SQL injection attack? In-band is where we are either attempting the error-based or the union-based. What is error-based? We send a query to the database, we craft a query to the database, and it generates an error message, and it dumps the error message right in front of us on the screen. That makes us realize that there is a flaw, and there is some information that is dumped on the screen, which we can then further utilize to craft our further queries as we go ahead. Whereas union-based is, it is where we combine multiple statements at the same time. So if you look at the URL, earlier in the URL you would see a large structure in that URL. We can try to add two or more statements within the URL itself to combine them and then confuse the database into executing both the statements together and giving a data dump at the same time, right? So what would an error-based SQL injection look like? If I go back to the same database, which is here, right? And if you remember the username, we gave it a single quote or 1 equals 1 space hyphen space. We gave it the condition, right? So basically what it did was a single quote is an operator that goes to the database, selects the default table in the user tables in this database column, and then compares it to the condition that is given. So the condition that we gave was 1 equals 1, which is always true. So what it did was it selected the default user table that was available in the database, and instead of comparing it to a password, it compared it to the condition. So if I give it 1 equals 2 where the condition is false, and if I log in, you will see that the account doesn't exist, comes back again, because the condition was false, and instead of comparing the user account to the password, it basically compared the user account to the condition. So if I give it a single quote or 1 equals 1 hyphen space and log in, you can see that this is a correct condition, and thus we are able to log in. Now, before we even go to that extent, if I just forget the condition over here and I just give it a single quote to operator, and I send this operator to the database and I click on login, you will see that it generates an error which is right on top, and it tells us the line, the file where the error happened, and you can see it happened in the MySQL handler.php file, right? And then it gives us the message: you have an error in your SQL syntax, check the manual that corresponds to your MySQL server version for the right syntax to use. Now, why would a hacker want to do this in the first place? Because there are different types of databases. So there is a MySQL, MS SQL or Microsoft SQL, Oracle SQL, IBM DB2, all of these are variations of the SQL database. They use the SQL language, however every database has its own command, right? They have their own syntax, they have their own specific commands that are utilized for the database. So in this scenario, the hacker wants to identify what database is being currently utilized so they can craft those particular queries. So now with this injection, with just me sending the code and the error getting generated, I now come to know that we are using a MySQL server, and the version of that server is 5.1.73, and the rest of the information about where the handlers are located and so on and so forth. Right, this gives the information to the hacker of how they want to proceed next, what kind of queries they want to create, what kind of syntax they want to utilize. So the error-based attack is where you generate these kind of errors and you get this information. The union-based is where you craft your queries within the URL, or you can try to combine multiple statements within the input fields and try to generate a response from that. Then we come to Boolean-based SQL injection. Sends a SQL query to the database, which forces the application to return a different result depending on whether the query returns a true or a false result. So basically, if the input is false, both the inputs are false, the output would be false. There's one input that is false, the other input that is true input B, the output would be true, and so on and so forth. Right? So depending on the result from the inputs, the attacker will come to know which input is true. With this, he can then access the database of the website. So you're trying to figure out